What's up, everyone? So I'm going to um, share an interview I did, sensitive topic, very sensitive topic, on an interview I did with someone called Jupiter the Hybrid Werewolf. He is someone that originated on TikTok. He did an interview, well, he went live with a creator named LindaBinda, who is very well known on TikTok. LindaBinda is, so it's just a character. It's a guy that does his character as LindaBinda, uh, do satire, parody, to troll, all sorts of things like that. Um, Very entertaining if you've never seen her. But she did this interview with Jupiter just by chance one night, and the things he said were just so off the wall crazy that he became viral. He blew up overnight. He got like he got very well known. Linda she's still making videos to this day with Jupiter of interviews, and it's been all over the place. He thought that he was in a relationship with her, that they were engaged, that he loved her, talked about being intimate with her, talked about getting married to her. All the while, he had a fiance named Abby, which people who are part of my channel know Abby's a part of this channel as well, and someone I greatly admire and look out for it, and I want to protect her at all costs. And I am the reason that Jupiter and Abby ended up breaking up about a year ago, and I'm still willing to try what I can to keep them separate because he has hurt Abby in the past. That being said, when Linda did that with Jupiter and became well known, he started getting a little bit of a following, and his channel, his TikTok started getting really, really big, um, to the point that became dangerous. And the reason it became dangerous because he started talking to children and even adults. So most were adults pretending to be children just so they could catch him. And a lot of people did just do it to troll him. But to most of us who are parents and have kids on TikTok, we weren't cool with that. And a lot of people got together and started to expose Jupiter and call it for what it was, and was kind of irritated with Linda at first about like she's making light of this very serious situation. Um, when this is a very dangerous thing, and he's well known because of her sharing the platform with them, which I later on did an interview with Jupiter's ex-roommate, with this anonymous creator, this creator on TikTok that goes by the name Anonymous. There's a group of people that go by Anonymous, not the hacking group, but they take on that persona and that character as well. But their whole goal is to protect children on TikTok and any social media, actually. But I had an open panel. I talked to Abby, who he has known since she was 14 years old. She's now 20 or 21. He's 23 or 24, I forget. But I did an interview with Abby. I did an interview with the anonymous group with other creators on TikTok that got together to expose him. And Linda was watching it, and we were talking about how she's making it, taking it very lightly what he's doing, and it's very concerning because he's well known because of this, and it's irresponsible. Well, after that, a friend of Linda's started reaching out to me via email and wanting me to know that she's doing what she can behind the scenes. She's working with the police. She's recording everything she can with them, that she is trying everything she can to help protect children from him. And that she wasn't taking it. She makes light of it on TikTok, but she wants everybody to know she's very serious about it. And she's just pretending right now so she could get him to admit things, so she could have recording proof to get something done about him legally to where he gets arrested and maybe go to prison. Also, Lou Grimm is someone that got involved in this and talked to Jupiter. And at one point, Lou and Linda reached out to me. Lou, I talked to personally. Linda, I've only talked to her friend. But they reached out to me on wanting to come on my channel and also speak about it and share their side of it. But then my channel got struck by a hater, and when we were supposed to do the interview, I lost that chance. So it is what it is. But after all that took place, the anonymous people did contact the police department. Jupiter was making death threats. He was making threats to a lot of people, like very vivid death threats. He had talked about he knew the perfect places. Trigger warning on this whole interview, by the way, I'm be playing. I'm giving an introduction to my afterthoughts before we get into it. Sorry if you hear my daughter screaming background. She's playing VR. But that group got a hold of the police department and talked to the police department. And I found out through my own digging that Jupiter has a guardianship, or it was under guardianship with his grandmother. His mother's no longer living. His father is a PDF. His brother's in prison right now for PDF crimes. If you don't know what PDF is, it rhymes with Geppetto. That's the best I could do. So his brother's in prison right now for PDF crimes. He has another brother that was in prison for it. He has a sister who's been a victim of it from Jupiter and from her other brothers. I mean, it's just a horrible, violent, horrible way in upbringing for Jupiter. And I caught a lot of heat for speaking of Jupiter 7 months ago. And people like, why would she speak to? I spoke to him because one of his victims, his ex-girlfriend Abby, came to me letting me know that Jupiter was coming back and trying to demand her to be back with him and threatening her. And she was scared and she wanted to meet. And I told her I'd always try to protect her in any way I could from him. So she came to me and asked me to reach out to him. And I told her absolutely, absolutely, whatever I could do to help. So I spoke to him. And now when you hear the interview, I'm not cruel and hateful to him. And the reason why, trust me, my skin was crawling. I wanted nothing more than to tell him how I really feel about the things I've heard him do and say. But at the same time, this man is on the spectrum. He's got very severe mental health disability, like not disabilities, but very serious mental health issues. He's a ticking time bomb, I feel. And also, he is also a victim of very serious, horrible crimes that were done to him as a child. So not only am I speaking to someone that committed crimes, he also was raised up in that and abused himself. And as a survivor of crimes, violent crimes myself, I don't want to ignore that fact and just treat him like crap. I was very candid with him how I felt about PDFs, how I felt they all should be castrated, how they don't recover, how they don't change, how he should stop talking to kids. All that's going to be in here. At the end, he will admit to a crime he committed against Abby, which he has denied from the jump when I did my interview, and he finally admits it toward the end, but his explanation might really, really shock you. But he did finally admit it. But just remember that I'm dealing with someone with autism, someone with very serious mental health issues, someone that's a ticking time bomb, and someone that's a victim of SA as well. And that's why I'm not being so harsh with him. So there's that. But if it was someone else, though, I would just read the riot act and go in. But I really thought I could get something done, possibly, and get through to him and explain the things I've known and why it's wrong to do these things. Because I feel like everybody just trolls him and uses him for satire and content and parody or whatever. And no one really, cuts to the chase and be like, this is wrong. You can't do this. This is illegal. You can't do this. Maybe I don't know. That's just my thought going into it. But anyways, get beside the point. So anyways, that anonymous group and some other creators, including Linda, reached out to the police department. The police department had enough evidence to go and raid Jupiter's group home he was living in. Because again, he's under guardianship. His mom's no longer with us. He was under guardianship from his grandmother as an adult, where he's not supposed to be unsupervised. And the grandmother died, so he kind of had free reign. He was living in a group home ever since his grandmother died. And they weren't aware of the crimes he was committing on the internet while living in a group home, which you can't do that in a group home. You have to abide by all laws in those group homes. But he got kicked out of the group home from his TikTok behavior. There's other videos on my channel. You can watch. I'll tag the interview with Abby and the anonymous group at the end of this video. So you can just go from there if you missed the first round, or just go on my page and look, and you'll see the original interview with Abby. But yeah, so they went there to raid it, and he got kicked out of the group home. His computer, his phone, everything got confiscated. When I was talking to Jupiter 7 months ago, he said the case is still open. Everybody thought that the cops just threw their hands up there and just let him get away with it. But when I talked to Jupiter 7 months ago, he said the case is still open. He's not in the clear. So who knows what's going to happen. Since this interview, after he promised he would not talk to anybody's kids anymore, as expected, he has been caught since then talking to children again. Now, the only saving grace is that the people he thinks are kids that are talking to him are actually adults trying to catch him. So when he's talking about this lady, Sophia and Bella or whatever, those are actual adults pretending to be kids, and he's still wildly inappropriate. But I don't know. Abby's been in my chat recently and wants to do a second interview with me, which we will be doing that. But I felt like Abby needs to hear this first before we do a follow-up interview. But I wanted to share this. But yeah, I wanted to give you a rundown of who he is, what it's about, why I talked to him. Like I said, it was very hard. But when I'm saying all PDFs should be castrated, in my opinion, I'm talking about all PDFs. That means every, him included. And I'm sorry, but I don't know. I don't know what it's going to take, but it's very serious. It's very sad and heartbreaking because I keep sitting here thinking about the things he went through as a kid and the things he's done to his sister as a kid, which if you go to LindaBinda's YouTube, you'll hear those interviews. He has threatened. But the reason I got involved is because I heard him on the live with Linda talk about he knows a perfect place to get rid of bodies, that he would K this person and K this person. He has perfect plans to do it. He knows exactly how to do it, all that jazz. In the very end as well, he offers to be boots on the ground for Anonymous, the same group that tried to take him down for good reason. He wants to be boots on the ground for them if they need help taking down PDFs. Make it make sense. But yeah, that's what I'm going to intercede when I need to, because I couldn't really say what I wanted to say in the interview. He sent me a text beforehand and said, if you say anything to come to me, I'm going to hang up. And I'm like, all right, bet. So I had to use kid gloves, which is sorry for the irony right now, but I had to use kid gloves with him because I knew at any point he could just hang up and then who knows what would happen. But my main goal is to get it through him that he's not good for Abby and he can't talk to kids. So I just want you to know that going in. I'm going to take myself off screen now and put the interview up. I'm going to give it to you. It's going to be a raw, like the raw recording of it as it happened. Only part I'm going to skip through is when we're not talking, like, because his internet kept messing up. And there was no way, like, I'm not gonna let y'all listen to, like, make y'all listen to dead air. So his internet kept messing up. He had no cell phone service. He only had Wi-Fi. So at the bottom of the screen, you'll see where it says Jupiter is the only way we could talk without data. I meant without Wi-Fi. No, sorry, without cell service is what I meant to say. But I'll skip through those parts. There are some parts where he talks about what he would do to anybody that would hurt his future kids, and you would think that would wake him up to be like, so you get it, but you don't see how that relates to you. Also, he talks about his My Little Pony stuffed animals that are his wife and children. Yes, you heard that right. What he plans to do with those animals when he gets married in the future. I mean, so just if you're interested in this topic, definitely want to listen to the whole thing. I have been featured on other channels from doing this type of content, and I just felt like it's important to try to maybe get in the heads of, try to explain, try to pick his brain a little bit about what's his process, what's going on, and try to really drive the point home that he can't do the things he's doing. Which again, he promised he wouldn't, but he's already broke that rule. So here we are. But he did give me permission to share this. Now, when I first went in the interview, I was just recording it for my protection and for Abby. But as it went on, he's like, I don't care. I want you to put this out there. I was like, okay, bet. And it's been 7 months. But knowing that he broke his promise and he's been doing the same thing again, it's time for me to put out there this interview. So I hope you understand. I understand critique. But again, just remember why I didn't go so hard at him like I normally would like to do with someone of this nature. I bet. All right, here we go. What's up? So Jupiter's messaging me. I'm just going to tell you what the comment's been so far between us. He's searching for a Wi-Fi spot right now. He does have data on his phone to have a phone conversation. So I'm doing it this way because it seems like this is the only way we can. So I'm going to fill you in. One second. Oh, he's already messaging. All right. Okay. Let me send him the link. I'll read you all the comments afterwards. Wait. Invite. He's not in a good mood, I'll tell you that much. He's already like, if you say one insult, I'm cutting contact. Why are you trying to break me and Abby up? Mm-hmm. going to join. There you are.
Yeah, sorry, I'm not turning on my camera due to how late it is and
That's
how
okay.
bright the outside it is.
That's okay. I don't like being on camera either. First off,
Plus, it's for safety reasons.
huh?
Keeping my camera off is also for safety reasons.
Oh, okay, that's fine. You do whatever you need to do. First off, haven't met you. I'm Siwa Moon. Did you watch the interview I did with Abby?
Yes, and you tried to separate us.
But did you hear what she said in the interview?
The only question I have is why?
Because what she's told me about what's been done, and she's scared of you. She told me, and traumatized by the things that's been done to her. And as a woman, as a mother, I don't want anyone hurting her.
I won't plan on it. I don't plan on hurting her in any way.
But
It
in
was
the
my
interview, she
solemn
said,
vow as a man never to hurt anyone.
but you kind of embarrassed her all over the internet, though, don't you? Don't you think, with the whole Linda thing and Sophie and all that? Because you tell everybody that you were engaged to her, you wanted to marry her, and the next breath you're wanting to be with Linda, you want to sleep with Linda.
Can we just stop?
Which I talked to Linda and Lou as well. So
That was just me being part of. There's only me. It's only part of who I am. It's part of me to play a role of anybody else. I'm not going to hurt anyone. Plus, I play the role that's needed in order to succeed in life.
yep. Abby doesn't know it's a role. She thinks, it feels real to her because everybody's making fun of her. Be like, haha, Jupiter's cheating on you. Haha, he doesn't really care about you. He wants to be with Linda. These are the things she's told all the time. You there? Oh, great. I think your service cut out. I can't hear you. You might have to drop down and come right back. Lord. Jupiter. I'm sorry for that. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that.
Yeah, my connection out here can be rather shitty when cars pass by.
Well, that sucks. I'm sorry for that. That sucks to not have good Wi-Fi or good internet service.
Yeah, well, can't be helped.
Okay, so like I said, Abby is very hurt by everything. She's being embarrassed. Everybody makes fun of her. People are saying bad things about her. People are in her comments all the time telling her that you don't give a shit about her, that you're just using her. And so that's why I've been trying to protect her, because she doesn't deserve that. She is a sweetheart. She is an amazing person, and she deserves the world and not to be hurt by anyone.
Yeah, I know that. And I learned the hard way. That's the way my life is.
You do realize, can I ask you something? You do realize Linda's actually a guy, right?
Yes, I've been playing them both. Playing both
Okay.
parts of certain people. I've been playing both parts because of the way I live. And I live by the sword, I die by the sword. Either way. I've been at the deception game for years now. I've been doing it for a while. I've been at the deception game for a while. I'm deceiving certain other parties to try and find my way around, get boots on the ground sort of thinking, you know?
Well, I mean, Linda's only putting on a character as well just to play a part. I mean, because I mean, yeah, she's also playing a character, so it's no big deal. But I just didn't know if you were aware, because I know how you are when you're doing your content or talking to her. You are very open about how you feel about the LGBTQIA community, and it doesn't seem like you're very much of a fan. So it was
I'm okay
confusing.
with them. Just as long as I stay out of their way and they stay out of mine, they're okay in my book.
Well, then why do you use the F slurs?
I don't know.
It's
It
not.
was just something that happened. I got angry. I lost control of my emotions back then. I lost control.
Yeah, but
Everything
that's why you
spiraled.
get so much hate, because you say things that are like very hurtful to a lot of people. And I get playing a part and being a character, but the things you say, it's the internet. You know how the internet is. Once it's on out there, it's always out there, right? So those
Yeah, well,
clips will follow you forever.
can't be helped, especially in this day and age.
Well, do you know all those girls that you spoke to in Discords? Do you know that they are all actually adults just messing with you to try to get you to slip up?
Yep. That's why I cut ties to that old Discord. I cut ties with it and started up a new place to just be myself and hang out.
Honestly, Trooper, I think you should have people prove to you their age before you let them in there, because even here's the thing with the
Yeah,
police. They don't care about if they're someone pretending to be of age or not. If the person on the other end even thinks they're 14, 15, the police don't care if they're actually that age. They only care about what the alleged perpetrator thinks of that age and what they say to the people they think is 14
yeah.
or 15. So you could still go to jail for stuff like that.
Well, I want to say this out there. If this is going out to everyone out there, I may have fucked up. Yes, I may have fucked up. I may have said some things that I didn't truly mean. And for that, I am sorry. And if Abby is watching this, I love you, honey, and I will always love you. No matter what happens, I'm sticking by you. I'm sticking by your side. Because I'm not
Can I
giving
ask
up on
you?
you.
Can I ask you, why did you pretty much demand an apology from her then? Because you said apologize for what you've done. What did she do?
After that interview, you made me look like some sort of villain. So I was really mad. I was angry. I was hurt.
I am
There was
okay.
a
First,
lot of anger in my voice. A lot of
well,
hurt.
I'm a mother, and hearing what all these people in your Discord are saying that you were saying, and Linda's videos. I mean, as any mother would be, not look at you in the greatest light, honestly. And I don't think you could fault me for thinking that
Nope.
way. If you all these clips out there, that's
Yeah,
you know.
well, those haters out there can just kiss my ass. I don't give a shit what they think of me. Because in this world, I am who I am. You can't change that about me. One way
Well,
or
did
another.
Abby lie in her interview?
I mean, I never touched her. I never did anything sexual towards her, you know. I wait until we're together to do stuff like that, you know, till we're in person, you know. And I swear by this day I'm going to stick by her, because after everything I've experienced and all the people out there, she was the only one who stuck by me, so I'm sticking by her. And that is my firm judgment on my own life. I'm not going to just abandon her again. I will not be, you know, I will not be abandoning the people I love again. I did that way too many times. I've run from my past. And now I'm facing it forward. And I'm looking back in the rear view and I'm saying, hey, this shit can't hurt me no more. I move forward. I don't move back. I move forward and continue my way in life.
I'm kind of worried though, Drew, because Abby did say that you started talking to her when she was 14 and you were 18, which is already concerning, of course.
Technically
And then,
speaking, she was 17 and I was 18.
okay, say how old you were
Technically
again.
speaking. Back
How old were
then,
you?
she was about 17, I was about 18. I can't
She
remember
said
when or
she
what
said she
year
was
I was. I was
14.
older. Technically, back then, I might have been at least 15 years back then, or something close to there, because I started smoking after I left Tomorrow's Hope. When I turned 18, I started smoking, started vaping, and all that stuff. And my mom and my my family kind of hate it, but me, I'm gonna do my own thing. But at the same time, it was just something that happened, and we met then. I didn't know she was gonna come forward and actually say she cared.
Now, for those that missed it, the interview that I did with Abby, when she spoke very candidly, and it was very brave of her to do. She had not talked to anybody about it before, what he had done. And again, this whole thing comes to trigger warnings. It's going to be very sensitive topics all across the board. He's going to get into more of that in the future, but I'm helping you along the way understand what he's speaking on. So when Abby came to do the interview, she spoke how she was 14 years old when Jupiter started grooming her. Um, he was 18 years old, she said. 18 or 19 years old. He talked her into sneaking out of her house and going to where he was, even though her parents had forbid it and said absolutely not. But he talked her out of he talked her into sneaking out and going to where he was. Again, she was 14 and he was an adult. And when she had spoken on how they went, I don't know if they were in a hotel or what. I think they were in a hotel, but she had talked about how he put his hands on her and hurt her, like assaulted her with bruises on her, um, and made her very uncomfortable and was trying to force her into doing things that she didn't want to do. And she had not told anybody about it until the interview, um, which again, he has denied. But at the end of this interview, he will finally speak more on it and finally admit to, yes, he did it. But again, his explanation is not going to be something you expect. And I kind of have to go along with it just to keep him talking. So you will hear him talk about more of that coming up soon.
And liked me and didn't think anything of it. Back then, I didn't think anything of it. My brain was not thinking entirely anything. I was just empty minded. I was literally an empty glass just sitting on the counter.
Well, then why did she tell us that she met you for the first time when she was only 14 years old, and she did it after she snuck out of the house because her parents didn't get permission for her to go meet you, and she snuck out to go meet you, and like she said, she was
She was
14.
actually out there on the 4th. It was the 4th of July when we met. It was the 4th of July when her and I first met. It was on the 4th of July.
But how many
And
years
that was
ago?
out in Melbourne. I don't remember. It's been a long time.
Well, she's
I
still
haven't
pretty
been out
young.
in
She's
Melbourne
only in her
for,
early 20s.
yeah, I know.
So if it
But
was a
let me
long time
explain.
ago,
I
it's been
haven't been out
years.
in, yeah, I haven't been out in Melbourne for at least 10 years. A lot has changed out there. A lot has changed. I haven't been out there in 10 years. It's where I grew up,
So
but
it was 2
I hardly
years ago
recognize
that
the place. Yeah, it was about 10, 15 years ago now. Because I'm 25 now. It was about 15 years, give or take.
But isn't she 4 years younger than you?
Something like that. I don't know. I don't really pay attention to time or age. I don't really pay attention.
And I hope you caught that. He doesn't pay attention to time or age. Yeah, we know that's a big part of why you keep getting yourself in these situations. But a minute ago, he said he was 15 and Abby was 14. Now it's and I know Abby's telling the truth. It is a 4-year difference between them. So he definitely groomed her, and they met on the internet, by the way, and he talked her into leaving her home with her parents, sneaking out of the house, going to where he was, being assaulted, and keeping it a secret from her mom all those years. And he continued that relationship with her until I got involved, and I talked her into breaking up with him and blocking him. And then 6 months go by, and he's constantly working on her, constantly creating new accounts and reaching out to her and threatening her. And you owe me an apology for that interview. I demand an apology. I want my apology. And Abby's she keeps falling for it, but she honestly was scared of him, which is why I reached out. But he's continuing these behaviors of grooming and threatening and using these threats to keep people in line. And if you want to hear the level of anger and threats I'm talking about, again, go to LindaBinda's YouTube. He threatens her in the most, I mean, it's horrible. It is scary. I'm not Linda, obviously, and I was scared of the things he was saying. I was scared just listening to it. So you can only imagine how that is. And he is very anti-LGBTQIA. He is saying now, oh, I just said things. He uses the F slurs. He talks about them, about people in that community in the worst ways possible. He is completely LGBTQIA. That's why I thought he needed to know, you're not in a relationship with Linda. Linda's not into you like that. Just because I feel like if he were to find out afterwards, after continuing to think this, that he might snap and really try to cause harm to her or someone else. So I just wanted him to know, like, you understand that's just a character. It's satire. It's not, that you're not in a relationship with Linda. I was so scared of what he might do if he really thought that there was more, and then later on found out afterwards, after years of trying, that there was never a chance, and then who knows what he was capable of. Because like I said, the things we have heard him say are terrifying. But back to it.
And I just look at my age and I look at other people and I'm like, huh. Because it just doesn't matter to me anymore.
If she's 4 years younger than you, then there's no way that she was 16 and you were 17. There's no way. If you were 17 and she was 13.
It was a long time ago. I don't remember most of the stuff. Yeah, I don't remember most of the stuff. It's been ages since I've been out there. I haven't been out to Melba for 10 years. And up until then, up until recently when my mom died,
Which, sorry about your loss.
I haven't been back to Melba since my birthday. Yeah, my mom was the thing that was the hardest thing for me to go through. That losing my mother was hard enough. And people are poking and prodding and saying that my mom was a felon and my dad was a felon. I'm like, my birth parents were, but that doesn't mean my adopted parents are.
Well, it's none of their business about your mom. She's gone. She's not here. They need to not dig into your mom's situation, okay? That's
my dad
business.
is still alive. Yeah, my dad's still alive, by the way, and he's doing great. I mean, the guy's a great guy. He's my dad. He raised me.
I mean, look, I know you've had a horrible upbringing. I've heard the things that you shared about your life, the things your sister shared about her life. Y'all had the worst upbringing, and there's no way you could go through the things y'all been through and come out normal and a functioning adult after the things you've been through. That it's not normal for humans to go through shit like y'all been through. So, like, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how to explain it, but everybody that's picking that, making fun of that, that's traumatic that you did go through that. But I want you to understand that that you also can be causing that trauma to those that you care about, like Abby, Linda, the kids, the other people on Discord. Like, I know that you have a lot of these people that
I already issued out an apology to everybody, and I managed to save what little dignity I had left. It's the truth. I gave off my apology. I got on my hands and knees and apologized for everything. I've done everything by the book since then, and I've been living my life the way I would expect. Right now I'm still working on figuring out who I am as a person, and the mental images of my brother still hang in my mind, but doesn't mean I'm going to keep hanging on to it. I mean, I've forgiven him thus far and wiped the slate clean with him because he's my brother. He's my family. He's my flesh and blood. I can't give him up. I can't just leave,
But Jupiter, I need you to understand that people who are predators, like unfortunately your brother or your family, whoever in your family that are predators don't change how they are. It is scientifically proven that those urges cannot be controlled. That's why when your brother does get
It's
out,
called
I
impulse
would
control.
go away from, huh?
Called impulse control. And
Right.
what my
Well,
brother
even
did
impulse control.
was because he was drunk. He was not thinking clearly. He has
No,
since then moved on, gotten
Jupiter,
remarried.
nobody
He has
should do that.
wonderful daughters.
I've been drunk many times in life. Well, not many. I'm not really a drinker, but I've been drunk a few times in life, and I would never do anything to a sibling, a child, nothing. No one can make me
Yeah,
do anything like that. So,
well, the thing is, Duke has learned to move past it, and so have I. I've learned to move past what's happened. I move forward from there. Doesn't mean I'm a bad guy. I'm just
no,
unstable. But you know, that's how I see it. Just because you fucked up one time does not make you a bad person. What makes you a bad person is if you fuck up and keep going and keep doing it. That's what makes you a bad person. Me, on the
have
other
you ever
hand, I learn.
Have you ever watched the YouTube videos with scientists that study predators in a sexual nature? And they tell you that they have been studying predators for 30, 40 years. And there has never once been a time that a predator has gotten out of prison after serving time and not reoffended again. That it's impossible for them to not reoffend, that no one to this day has ever not done it again. So that's like,
My brother
it's
Duke
not
is
only
one.
huh?
My brother Duke is one such person who's actually went to jail, served his time, and moved forward. He is one such person. Even ask him. You can even contact him and ask him, and he'll tell you the same damn thing. He's changed. He's moved forward. He's lived his life. He doesn't reoffend. He keeps doing what he does. He's a drywall worker, has 4 lovely daughters. He has a new wife, and he is happy. He is remarried.
By the way, the brother he's speaking on, Duke, was in prison for a while for possession of child photos, but photos and videos. You know what I'm talking about. And it wasn't just one; he had many. The other brother is still in prison. I don't know if he'll ever get out. Hopefully, never gets out. Um, who's actually done more than that. He actually assaulted children. From what I remember, again, this happened a year ago when this first all came out. And I did, worked with a group to do something about this. But very serious crimes. And then he had a roommate named Billy, who, if you watch the interview I did that night, Billy kept trying to come up here, and we had to fight over this because he tried to come up here. And when I first got a hold of, he reached out to me first, and he wanted to come on my panel to speak about Jupiter, that he's the ex-roommate and he has a lot of information that could help us do something so we could get kids protected again from Jupiter. So I told Billy, sure, just come on up. While he was up here, I was getting a bunch of messages about emails of the things he has done with possession of child photos and videos. So I kicked him and told him he was not welcome back up. And he started making videos about me on TikTok about how I used him or wasn't being fair and I wouldn't let him speak his piece. Sorry, not sorry. Again, I wouldn't even talk to Jupiter if it wasn't to try to get Abby safe again. And because a victim asked me to do something on their behalf. So that's why I was willing. So if one of his victims were to ever come forward and say, will you please try to get some answers, speak to them, get them to lay off, I would do it for them too. So there's that. But yeah, like I said, it's very, very eye-opening interview I did with other people about this case a while ago.
And to be honest, I don't fault him. I'm not going to hold that against him. What happened with him was a long time ago, and he moved forward. He moved on. He never reoffended after that.
How long's he been out?
Quite a while, actually.
Like months, years?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, which one? Months or years?
Probably years.
And do you have another brother that's still in jail for the same stuff?
Well, yeah. But he's a different case, entirely. He's different. He's a different case. He's a whole head case if you get my meaning.
Right. So are you gonna forgive him and let him back in your life, or you gonna stay away from him because
I already have forgiven him. Doesn't mean I'm gonna let him around my kids. If me and Abby get married and have kids, oh hell no, I'm not letting that motherfucker within 9 yards of my kids without someone being there to watch over him. That motherfucker needs a babysitter.
No, he actually should just never get out.
My brother Shane has been working his ass off to try and fix things with our family. I have moved on since then, and living my life has just been easy. I'm living happily. I'm trying my hardest to work my ass off to get where I want to go in life and get my butt back into shape and try to get myself to actually move forward. I've been out here living this life for almost, I don't know, a year and a half, maybe, give or take. And let me tell you, it's not easy, but it is pretty rough of me right now. I'm having a rough go because of all the shit I've been through.
Understandably.
Yeah, and I love everybody around me. I love everybody I care about and want them to know that I'm doing what I can to fix things. And to those who think I'm just a reoffender, I'm not. I'm trying my hardest to keep my heart in a good place. And I'm only there for underage people if they're going through some stuff. I'm only there to basically be a friend and someone to lean on in case they need someone to be strong for them.
But when you've already had issues like you had on the last Discord, it's not a good idea to be around children in any capacity on the internet, especially when internet is the main reason you even got in the predicament you're in to begin with, is because of the conversations through the internet. You honestly, if you do not want this shit to happen to you again, you shouldn't even, as soon as you know they're underage, you should be like, I don't want you in this Discord, or I can't talk to you anymore, because that is the only way to make sure that you're being safe. I wouldn't even talk. I mean, I understand that you say you just want to be there. I get that. Kids need support, but because of what's already taken place, if I were you, I wouldn't talk to children in any capacity at all through the internet, people you don't know, because that's going to lead you right back where you already were.
I apologize. But anyway,
apologize. It's something to think about.
Yeah, I'm working on some things to keep my mind busy. I've started taking up my gaming mantle again, picking up the slack on my mantle of gaming, because, I'm a gamer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping I actually have some boys I play with online. There's Bam, there's Prided, and then there's Dota. We all play Sea of Thieves together from time to time. And those boys and I, they may be underage, but we're all just buddies. We all just goof off. That's all we do when we're on there, is we goof off.
Do you only talk about the game, or do you go personal? Like, do y'all talk about your real lives?
Sometimes we talk about our lives we just have that confidence in each other because we're like brothers. We're all like brothers. To me, they're my little brothers, and I see them as my little brothers, and they've actually have a lot going on in their lives, and sometimes they need someone to be there to listen to them, and hear them out. So that's what I do.
Well, anytime,
that's what I'm here for.
So I've been a content creator for about 3 years, and anytime someone comes to my chat and I could tell that they're not an adult. I tell them, they'll come in the chat and say they're going through a hard time, whatnot. I'm like, well, I hate that you're going through that. You matter, you're cared about. But can you please, I think it's important that you find an adult that you can trust in your real life and tell them what you're going through. I'm sure there's someone that can help you with this. I just don't think the internet is a safe environment for you. That's what I tell people that come in my chat when I can tell they're underage. And that's not just to protect them, it's to protect me too, because it's important that they talk to someone they know in real life that will have their best interests at heart. And that way I don't get in trouble and they don't get in trouble.
Yeah, and me and those boys are just gamers. We're gamer guys. We stick together. We're kind of like this crew that just goofs off. At the end of the day, we're just a bunch of goof offs just looking to get some stuff done on Sea of Thieves, to just do something with our lives, you know? It's our brief escape from reality. Bam, I often ask, "Hey Bam, how's the girlfriend?" And he'll go, "She's good, man," and we'll just talk about it back and forth. We'll just have that back and forth banter.
Did you meet them off of the TikTok stuff or somewhere else?
No, I met them over Xbox Live, actually. We play online together. We play Xbox Live. We literally play Sea of Thieves together. That's what I mean. Sea of Thieves is a game on the Xbox One that can be played over Game Pass. And yeah, we've been playing together for some time now. And me and Bam have just had this brotherly bonding, you know?
Can I ask how old they are? Like, do you know their ages?
Not really. I play online with them. I talk to them. I'm there when they need me. You know, whenever have my Xbox hooked up to the hotspot on my phone, whenever I was living off of Bella, whenever I was online, it would be one of Dodo or Bam or Prided who would contact me and be like, "Hey man, we miss you. Come on, jump on in." And I'm like, "Okay, I'll be there in a sec. I just have to go do something really quick." And I go do the thing I needed to do. And then I come back up into my room and play games with them and just go on Sea of Thieves and just hang with them, you know, just hang out, be their stoic big brother who's always going to be there, you know? Boy, I miss those kids.
I wish you would just talk about the game, you know, because like I said, I feel like because I don't know, I feel like you're treading.
I miss them. I miss them. I miss playing with them, you know. I miss playing with them. They're good kids either way. They're, at the end of the day, they're just good kids, and I enjoy their company online. You know, we have this brotherly bond, and we care for each other, and we're always there to back each other up.
And
last time I played with them, last time I played with them, we were doing this one sea fort, and we wound up getting swept by a bunch of ghosts on the fort, and then this group sailed up on us and basically sank us and took our shit. And it was rough on us. We were all cussing and yelling out loud. We were just so mad at those idiots who just rolled up on us and just sank us and took everything we had. It was just one of those moments where I just got all pissed about it. I was like, son of a bitch.
Right. Yeah, gaming is stressful. That's why I don't do it.
Well, it's either that, or it's either game or smoke cigarettes, which is hardly ever helpful. I started trying to get away from cigarettes.
Well, so the reason I'm like, speaking of cigarettes, which I don't condone in any way, don't do it. It's horrible. It's not worth your life. But the reason I'm like, speaking of that, is because he did a live with Linda and said that he only said those things and acted those ways toward children because of nicotine. And it was nicotine on his brain that was making him be evil. It was nicotine on his brain that was making him say those things, and he didn't mean it. I don't know about you guys, but I've never witnessed nicotine make people have urges of that nature. Just saying. So I definitely wanted to confront that and see why he was using that as an excuse. Well, speaking of cigarettes, can we talk about something that I heard? And just, I really want to know your thought process behind what you said not too long ago.
About the nicotine and how it helps?
Yes. About the nicotine and...
Yeah, I'll cover that for you. Nicotine has been running in my blood since I was a baby. How can I say this? My parents were smokers. My birth parents were. So nicotine's already running in my blood. And it's a genetic thing, and it happens in genetics. And those who study genetics will see that half of males who've had smoker parents will pick up the habit. Over 90% of male, family members will pick up smoking if they've had smoker parents. It's over 90%. So I smoke and vape to keep myself grounded, because if I let my head wander too far, I might go and do something stupid.
Right. Which is
I
what you
might do
said is the
something
reason
stupid.
you said all those things on the Discord to what you presumed were underage girls was because of you smoking and the nicotine.
Yeah, it was that and drinking. I was drunk. I was tired. I was not thinking correctly. Because at night, I would hear my roommate up at night screaming at his lungs at like 3 a.m. and I'd be trying to get to sleep. And it kept me up at night. So I don't really sleep at night anymore due to it. It's become a handicap.
Right. Yeah.
And
Insomnia
it's really starting
as well.
to affect my day to day. Yeah, I've been having it rough lately. That's why I did what I did, is because I've been having it rough. I haven't had sleep.
Yeah, but you
I haven't had
understand
sleep full night.
all your but when you do stuff, it just like I said, having it rough is understandable. That's one of the bad things about being an adult. Pretty much we're all having it rough. But you gotta not put, do things that can hurt
Yeah,
other people because you're having it rough.
yeah, we all gotta start learning our lessons one way or another. But to be honest with you, I'm gonna be one of those people who did something like that, and I'm gonna be one of them to break the cycle, because it takes one of us to break the cycle.
Yeah, because it hasn't been done so far. Like I said, so far in the history of humankind, no predator has ever not done it again. They have always done
Yes,
it again. It might take years, but they always go back to doing it because they can't resist that urge.
me, I'm gonna be one to break the cycle. I'm breaking the cycle right now by speaking out and giving people my end of the story of how things have been in my life. I'm one who's breaking the cycle by telling everyone that I may have fucked up, but at least I learned that I fucked up, and I've learned since then that I'm not going to continue to fuck up. And I'm
Jupiter, do
going to
you really
break that
love
cycle.
Abby?
I really do love that woman. To everything in my heart screams for her. I can't. I've been losing sleep just thinking about her. I've been losing sleep about it.
Well, I want you to think about something. Because of all the things that have transpired over TikTok and videos and all the internet stuff that that's happened in the past year, you have to understand that if Abby were to get with you and get married, those people know, everybody that knows who she is and knows who you are, those videos are going to follow her the rest of her life, not just yours, hers too, if she were to get with you. Also, if y'all were to have children together, everybody would be trying to take her kids from her if she were to be with you because of those videos out there. And those videos would be enough to take the kids away. So if you truly love Abby, don't you want to let her go and start new with someone that doesn't have all that following them around? Because like I said, whoever is going to be with you in the future, they're going to have to deal with the wrath of everything that's transpired, because like I said, what's on the internet never goes away. So if you really want Abby to have to deal with
I'm
things
not going
like
to let Abby go. I would never let her go, because she means everything to me. I don't want to lose her. I don't want to lose her again.
but her parents don't even want her to have anything to do with you. She has to sneak around as it is. Like that's why she had to sneak around when she was 14, because her parents don't want her to have anything to do with you. Even as an adult, she's not supposed to have anything to do with you. So how is that going to work?
We'll make it work. We always find a way. You have to understand, love finds a way, no matter how hard it is. Love will find a way.
But that means
And
Abby would have to.
Even if
That
her
means
parents
Abby.
were to learn that her and I are back together, it would be far too late for them to do anything, because she has to gain her own independence. This is what she wants, not what they want. They can't control her. Only she can control her.
So, by the way, Abby is under guardianship too. She is a vulnerable adult and under guardianship with her parents, and live with her parents. And Jupiter knows this, and he's still trying to tell Abby to go against her parents' wishes and be with him anyways. And even talks about running away and marrying her against their wishes. So, I again, he's been grooming her since she was 14. So this is more than just, oh, he's just talking to adults on the internet. No, he's getting kids off the internet and convincing them to do things against their parents' wishes, knowing that the parents don't want anything them to have any interaction with him, knowing if parents know he's dangerous, he still convinces them to go behind their back. And it makes me so mad to think that he's still trying to convince her to do these things when she has told me she's scared of him. She has told me she doesn't believe in all these things he says, because he says he's a werewolf, he's a hybrid, he's half werewolf, half, I forgot what he said, half werewolf, half vampire, I think it was. He talks about injecting things into stuffed animals to bring them to life. He on Linda's channel, you could hear more about that. I don't want to risk my monetization more than I already am right now, but he's actually put things into these stuffed animals to bring them to life. And he'll get more into that towards the end of the interview, in this interview. So again, it's very eye-opening. You want to watch it all.
Herself. I may be Jupiter on other social media sites, but here you can call me Shadow Raven. That is why I put that as my YouTube.
I know, but I'm still used to you as Jupiter, because that's what I've known you as for years.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's just Abby and I love each other. We're going to do everything we can to make this work. No matter what happens, we're going to try and make
guardianship of her. Even as an adult, her parents still have guardianship over her, so they can easily put a stop to make sure that you're not allowed to ever speak to her. So I don't know how that's going to work.
You do realize that love is forever, and love will find a way no matter where it takes us. Hell, even if we have to leave state to get married, I don't care.
Legally, if you were to do that, though, Jupiter, you would go to jail because she has learning disabilities and developmental delays. Right?
So do I.
I know you said that before, but they're going to say you took advantage of her and you kidnapped her if you were to take off with her, because even though she's an adult by the state, she's considered still to be, her mentally not of age, and they're going to consider you taking advantage of her.
Even so, I would gladly go to jail for her because, hell, I've lived a long time. If I were to die in that prison cell, then so be it. I've lived a long life, a long and happy one.
But true love means you think about the person first over what you want and how you want to be with them, and like how much you love them. You have to think of them first and what's best for them. And like I said, if y'all were to be together, one, Abby's going to always worry about her children being taken. She's going to have to worry about if she can ever marry you. Her parents are always going to be trying to get you arrested or take her away from you. And also, all the stuff on the internet will follow her every step of the way. So, like I said, if you truly loved her, you would not want her to have to go through any of those things.
I'm shouldering the burden because that's what I do.
But it goes
my mother
on her.
taught me to do that. My father. The burden is mine alone to carry because of everything I've done. That's my burden to carry.
Yeah, but I don't know. It trickles down to Abby. Like I said, she's been dealing with all these negative comments and being made fun of ever since you first talked to Linda. So
yeah, I told Linda things were over. I left things over between me and Linda because I did not want her to keep tracking me down and trying to get me to get in trouble. So I was done. I was done with her shit, and I left nothing unsaid, and I did what I had to. In this world, we do what we have to survive.
Do you still mean those comments that you said that you wish you could kill a bunch of people and whatnot? Was that just a character? Or that
those comments were just me. Those comments were just me being off the rails. I have this weird tick about me that when I'm angry or if someone wrongs me, I get very vengeful towards them.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like a double-edged sword. My sin is wrath. That's my sin.
You scared Linda, right? Like you actually scared her.
Yeah, because someone has to put her in her place. Otherwise, she's going to roam the internet free and end up hurting more people than she already has. And I will not let that. Everything
still
she's
there?
been deserves
Oh,
it.
there it is.
She deserves
I didn't
everything
hear.
she's done. I care more about people understanding that I am doing what I can to make up for past mistakes. I'm working my ass off. And yet people don't seem to believe me. So what's there to say? What's there to do?
You know, with those videos, though, and I know you said it was just a rep because you were upset and you need to put Linda in her place. You know, those videos and the things you said her, you could go to jail for that, right? It's not worth it.
I'm not going to do anything. I'm all talk. I'm all bluster.
Well, I'm glad you're saying it's just all talk. You won't actually ever hurt anyone. Because I
No, I
I'm
won't. Well, I take that back. I would hurt my brother's face. I would slap him upside the head. I would slap my brother Shane upside the head because he would deserve it at this point.
Right.
I'd smack my brother upside the head because at this point he would deserve it.
He deserves a little more than that.
Half the family. At least he's learned that he's fucked up a lot of times, and at least he's learning from it. Because if he hasn't learned, I'll be there again to put my foot up his ass.
No, I feel like all predators should be castrated, like medically castrated, because that way they can't. I'm just gonna put my foot
down. Well, if he fucks up again, if Shane does fuck up again and he's within my area, I'm gonna go and put my foot up where the sun don't shine. And he would deserve it.
You understand? Shane fucking up again, as you said, means a child being assaulted or hurt again.
Yeah, well, I would do it in a way of me being his brother and me being there to try and show him. Guy, I've known Shane my whole life. He's an idiot. My brother Shane is an idiot. And I will go on record saying he's an idiot. He's always been an idiot. From day one.
I feel he's a monster done to kids.
Yeah, but he is an idiot, though. My brother Shane is an idiot. He never learned the first couple of times, so that makes him an idiot. Yes, in your book it makes him a monster, but in my book it makes him an idiot and a monster.
Right. Well, I call him a monster because all I can think about is that little girl or those little kids that he hurt and had videos of. That's why, I mean, I can't view him as a person. I can only view him as the pain he's caused children.
Yes, I know. And I'm sorry if I was trying to make light, but I'm trying to keep my heart lighthearted right now because I've been under enough stress as is.
Some people don't deserve second chances, though. You understand that? And your brother's one of them.
Well, Shane is one of them. Duke, on the other hand. Duke's a good man. He's my brother. I've lived with him my entire life.
He's never done anything else, and he stayed on a good path, and he has kids he's never hurt them. Then I'll just have to take your word for it, of course. And I hope that that's true, and I really do. And I hope that that brings some peace to your mind that he has gotten out and not done anything else to hurt anybody. That's great news, if so. But that other brother of yours, hell no.
Yeah. When my brother Shane gets out of prison, though, I'm going to smack him upside the head so hard it'll make his ancestors dizzy.
When's he supposed to get out?
2027, which is the year that my ID expires. He's gonna be so pissed when he finds out.
The year of what?
That my ID. The year my ID, my state ID expires.
Oh, okay.
He's gonna be so pissed when he finds out that my ID expires the year he gets out of prison. He's gonna be so pissed. He's gonna be so pissed.
Do you talk to your brother in prison?
He does call me. He did call me on my old phone before it was confiscated by the police.
Right.
He did contact me on there quite a lot. Him and I talk. Yeah, and I told him I was still kind of mad, but I told him that I forgive him. But he better, when he gets out of prison, he better stay on the straight and narrow. Otherwise, I'll put him back in that cell myself. And he knows I would.
Right.
He really knows
Yeah.
I will throw him back in the jail cell again.
That's a scary thought, honestly, him getting out in a few years.
Yeah, that's honestly what scares me the most. Because I have no fear of going to prison. It's just, I know, but I'm choosing to let things go for now until shown otherwise.
Okay, well, let me ask you.
He's a big man.
If you have children and your brother had done something to them like he's done to other people's kids, would you still want to give him another chance?
I mean, technically speaking, if it were my kids, hell, I'd shoot him. I put a 40-aught in his ass.
So now you understand why people are not so forgiving of the things people, of situations like that. Because if it were, and you said if it was my kid, I want to K the like I want to K that motherfucker. That's how most parents feel when we hear about anybody hurting children. So that's why it's going to be hard to get forgiveness. Huh?
You have to understand. I didn't mean to hurt nobody. I am a child at heart, and deep down in my heart, I know I messed up, and I want to at least try to make it worthwhile and make people understand that, and have people understand that I may be just that, a child at heart, and I don't want to hurt nobody. I'm a pacifist. I don't want to hurt nobody. I don't want to get physical or violent with anybody. I'm a pacifist.
I will say you scared a lot of people. I mean, like I said, I'm 38 years old. The videos, the things you said to Linda about what you wanted to do to her violently scared the hell out of me. Like, and I've been through some shit in life. Usually it takes a lot to scare me. I don't think you realize how scary the things you were saying were.
I'm not actually scary in person, actually. I'm not really scary at all. I'm more of a big teddy bear in real life. I just get a little confused and a little angry, and I sometimes have random outbursts. But it's mostly just intrusive thoughts. I have ADHD and autism and whatnot, and it messes with my brain. It's just part of my brain chemistry. I can't do or say anything without feeling like, yeah, when I found out what happened, when I found out that video got leaked to everybody online, I instantly felt fear and panic within myself, knowing that she was screen recording everything I was saying, trying to get me in trouble.
Everything she said, every conversation y'all had was screen recorded, just so you know.
I know that you're recording all this by being here, and I will say this. Just because I say something or say I'm going to do something to someone doesn't mean I'm going to do it. Because I'm all talk. I'm all talk.
Yeah, but even threatening, here's the thing though, legally, even threatening it and not doing it, you could threaten, like, just saying, I'm going to K you, but you had no intentions of actually doing it, and you say, well, I'll never do it. Cops don't care about that, Jupiter. They don't care. You can't threaten, you can't even say you're going to hurt someone without possibly going to jail. So it's a miracle with what Linda has that you're not already in jail with threats towards her.
Well, in my life, in my line of work, when I worked with the Nerd Brigade, when I told the story about the Nerd Brigade, that was actually true. I ran with that hacker crew for at least 2 years, and let me tell you, it was hard as hell.
You know that anonymous group that you hate so much, you know that they were on my channel, right?
I know. They don't care.
Okay. Well, I didn't know if you knew
that they don't like me because they consider me a threat.
Yeah, because they want to protect.
They consider me a threat to their power.
Do you understand why
They
they're
consider
like
me a
that?
threat to their power. Their hacking mechanism, their hacks are just nothing but Game Boy level. Nothing more. But I told them if they ever went after my family or my loved ones, I would have the wrath of God brought down.
Yeah, I don't think anybody wants to mess with your family or loved ones. I think they just want to make sure kids are still safe on the internet. Well, which that's never going to happen, but I think they're just trying to eliminate what they consider, well, what a threat to
My
children.
loved ones, my family.
Did you? Oh, I think your internet had cut off. I don't think they want to mess with your family, though.
They kept threatening to hurt my family and loved ones.
Are you sure it was the same guys that were on my channel? Because
Yes,
I've talked to them,
all
said
they
no mention of
did.
your family.
Well, all they did was threaten to hurt the ones I loved, the people I
In
cared
what way?
for. They
Like
told
hurt
me
physically?
that, yes,
Yeah, I think that's someone trolling you because the guys that were on my channel don't want to physically hurt anybody, and they sure hell don't want to hurt innocent people. So I think that's a random account trolling you, telling you that they want to hurt your family physically. Because the
yeah,
guys, like I said,
you
the
need
guys
to
on my
tell them
channel
to
wouldn't
back
do
off.
that,
You need to
huh?
tell that group to back off of me because I'm doing all I can to make up for my actions. And I promised them I would try my hardest to change around to change and to make sure that I had nothing left, nothing more to hurt anyone with. I told them to stop, to try to understand that I'm doing what I can to prevent any more harm and devastation.
Okay,
That on this group that's been on your channel before, they
yeah.
need to know that I'm doing what I can to make up for what I've done. They need to stop threatening me. Stop trying to cause harm to my image already. My image is already stained as is.
Yeah. I honestly don't think that part is ever going to go away. I don't think that you can. I don't think you can fix what was already been done, but you just got to make like you have to. Like I wouldn't
Make
talk to children, but I don't think that's gonna. I don't think you're gonna stop talking to. You say it's just gaming, and I really hope that's true. But I think you're always like,
that
as
is.
long as videos coming out of you speaking to children online, no one's going to leave it alone. That's what I'm trying to tell you. If I were you, I wouldn't speak to
I
any
just
children
said
because
the reason I mentioned my Xbox in that one video was because I was a gamer and I enjoyed playing video games and wanted to live a quiet, normal gaming life where I could go online and talk to people, just be having a bunch of friends and fun, just having a time of my life. Being a gamer is everything to me these days because it's my escape from reality. It's part of who I am. I've been gaming since I could crawl. And to be
well,
honest
nobody
with you,
says you have to give it up. You don't have to give up your gaming.
it's just the police have my original Xbox One, and I've been trying to get it back so that way I could keep my gaming accounts clear, so that way, nothing bad's gonna happen. And people releasing videos of me on my Xbox talking to people, that needs to. I had no idea someone was spying on my conversations.
There you go, right there. So then you, some of those that are telling you their kids might not even be kids. They're probably trying to still trick you.
Exactly. I had no idea. No one. I thought I was like talking to somebody. I was talking to this one person on there, and as soon as I got off, I had this feeling somebody was watching me. Like it was a weird feeling. Like I was
Right?
online with one of my close friends, which his name's Jad Anderson. He used to be a staff who worked with me. When I heard when I logged off, I went downstairs and told Jad I had a feeling somebody was watching me on my Xbox. And he looked at me and he gave me this stare that looked like he was between thoughtful and panic. And I was like, and I went, "You okay, man?" He goes, "No, I'm all right. it's hard to believe that, but yeah, I understand what you're going through, man. You were live streaming at the time, yes? And I said, yeah. How did you know? He goes, I was watching your live stream and some guy popped up and started calling you all sorts of names.
I don't know how many times I try to drive the point home to him throughout this whole thing of you can't talk to people's children. You can't do that. He said, I'm not going to reoffend it, or I'm not, like, I'm out. I've been living this life for a year and a half, and I didn't catch that when I did the interview, but that leads me to think that he's already been in trouble. Now we try to look up his name, and he has some type of charges not related to this type of crime. And it makes me think that maybe when he was a juvie, there was something that he got caught with that we can't look up, but he's already been caught many times. There's so many videos. There's so much proof. Linda's doing it. Like, Linda's done an amazing job of exposing practically all of it. She did an interview with Jupiter's sister, and it's heart-wrenching to listen to his sister. But his sister speaks very candidly about the things he's done to her. And again, I don't feel like these kids ever stood a chance. That's not excuse or justification. That's just context. I don't feel like Jupiter ever stood a chance. Crimes like these just create a line of victims. So if you have a dad that's doing this to kids, well, guess what? That meant someone did it to him, and then someone did it to that person. Someone did it to that person. Very rarely do you have people break that cycle. Most people who are children, and that happens to them very young, they ended up doing it to other kids or doing it as they get older to other kids, because it's viewed as normal, because that's how they were raised. That's how you express love and whatnot. I mean, there's a lot of scientific study that goes into it, but Jupiter's dad did it to his brothers. His brothers did it to Jupiter. Jupiter did it to his sister. The sister's the only one I know so far that hasn't done anything. So she broke the cycle herself. And she's completely against everything that has to do with Jupiter, and has spoken that she wants no contact with him. She can't stand him, how he ruined her life. She hates him. And she's such a strong lady. She's young as well, but he was going on these stories. He used to tell these stories on Linda's, how his sister would be reaching into the laundry or washing machine to get stuff out, and he would do stuff inappropriately, and he was laughing about it. Like, it was hilarious. Like, it was just a joke. It's not. It was assault. She was younger. And anyways, like I said, if you want to list that, go on Linda's. But no matter how many times I try to drive the point home to him, he's like, people are sitting there looking on my Xbox. Yeah, because you're talking to kids. Well, Anonymous is trying to take me down. Yes, because you're talking to kids. People won't leave me alone. Yes, because you're talking to kids. And at the end, he's like, I'm still going to talk to the kids. So I don't know. But he promised he would stop at the end. And then, like I said, he's gone back on that ever since. Or since then. That's why I'm putting this out there now. Okay, so yeah, like anytime
going
these
to expose my gamer name and make
Jupiter,
sure that my game got knocked off.
I'm telling you, the only way you're going to get people to stop calling you names and coming at your neck every time they do a video is if you refuse to speak to kids. Because again, and not anonymous too. The only way they're going to back off is if you stop talking to people's kids. I'm telling you, that's the only way you're going to get peace and quiet and go back to.
Yeah, I am in contact with certain. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm actually going back to fun stuff. I don't talk to anyone else online. I only talk to Jad and Bam, and that's the only two I talk to these days.
Is Bam
Dodo
an adult?
and Private MIA.
But are they adults?
Bam was one of the kids I played online with. He was one of the kids I played online with. He's one of the kids I played Sea of Thieves with. He and I are kind of crew members. We're crewmates. We play online together. We're kind of a little squad.
You're still gonna have issues.
Don't worry.
Because that's a kid.
Let me explain. Don't worry when I'm on there, because I have Jad there to monitor everything. Because whenever I invite Jad to a game session, I always have him there to monitor what we talk about. Because sometimes we'll say stuff and Jad will look at us and say, don't say anything else, otherwise you're going to regret what you're going to say next. So everyone just keep it calm and keep it joyful here, okay? No dark shit. And I go, and I nod, and I always say, okay, message received, Captain.
Are you sure Bam is Do you know who Bam is? Or like,
Bam's okay. He's a good kid. He may still be in school, but he's a good kid. He's really great. He's a
you're begging for issues talking to kids, though.
he's a good kid though, and him and I are friends. We're just online buddies. We play online together. We play Sea of Thieves. That's about it. So yeah, him and I are just friends. We have nothing going past that. We're just friends. We're online buddies. We're gamers.
Well,
We're
I
a
just
gamer
hope you're on
troop.
your best behavior when you talk to them, because there's probably going to be people in
I
there
am.
recording you, watching, and waiting for you to mess up.
Oh hell no! I'm not gonna do that to him. To Bam, he's my best friend. He's my little brother. I would never hurt anyone like that. I'm not that.
Very poignant issue or something I know is there. He's my best friend. He's my little brother. I would never do that, something like that. But he did it to his little sister. There's that.
That's stupid. Technically, what I did was pretty stupid of me, but I'm not that stupid anymore. I'm not stupid. I'm smart, not stupid. And I play my hand right. I wait till the last second to play my card.
What did the police tell you after they took all your stuff? Have you even heard anything else, or did they just took your stuff
No.
and you heard nothing since?
Not yet. It's still an open investigation, but I think from now on, I'm just gonna delete other social media apps that have been just a bad influence on me, and just try to go back to just posting normal content to TikTok. Maybe even post some of my gaming videos. Who knows? Maybe even just go live and have the camera pointing at the TV instead and showing people what I'm playing online.
What I would do is if you were to do those lives though, like you know how you can put titles on your live streams or whatever, just put 18 and plus only. That way it's you letting everyone know that you only want adults in the room to be safe. And like I said, that will stop it from getting messy and bad and things going back to shit.
I want Abby to know that I still love her, and I'm going to continue to love her no matter what happens. Even if
she's scared,
I do go to prison because of it.
You do know though that she's scared.
We talk things over though. Her and I are back together now. We talk things over. I finally calmed down and we talk things over. We're good now. And I hope that things will become better for her and I hope. I hope to God. Anyway, from there, is there anything else you'd like to ask me?
No, I feel like I asked everything. If the nicotine made you do those things, as you said, with impulse control and whatnot, are you still smoking and vaping?
Yes, but it was because of alcohol consumption too. Alcohol consumption had a little bit of fun. I do have a drink every now and then, but I don't try to drink too heavily. I kind of been trying to lay off of it and maybe try to go about my life a little bit differently.
I don't know, dude. That scares me.
But anyway, I'm working heavily on myself and working on.
Something else important to note: since Jupiter, since Anonymous and Linda and everybody try to work with the police to get, again, in case is open and get some, and his devices, all of his devices got confiscated, and he got kicked out of the group home because they found out he was committing crimes in the group home, and that's big no. He's back living with his dad, who is abusive to him and a monster to him. So he's he went from a bad situation to worse, honestly, which is so sad and heartbreaking. But he's a danger. But the really bad part of that all is he is now living with his dad, who lives across from a school. If you could believe that. I mean, I just get dumbfounded about it every time I think about it. Like, how did the police allow that to happen while this man's, I guess they can't stop it because he's being investigated. I don't know. But yeah, he's now living across from a school, everyone.
On trying to quit my cigarette habit. And then once my cigarette habit is kicked, I'll slowly quit my vaping habit little by little. I'll go
Right.
down in level with I'll go down until my vape hits 0, and that's when I'll toss it. Is when my vape level hits 0.
Well, quitting smoking is very hard to do, and I mean, I've never smoked anything, but I have friends that have it. I know it's very, very hard. So I understand
But
that it's going to take some time.
yeah, but mostly I'll just, if I'm going to vape, I'll just use CBD because it helps. It helps deal with the feelings of loneliness and whatnot. It helps me deal.
It'll also help calm down with your, your impulses and whatnot. I would feel like it makes you more relaxed instead of, being vengeful or like wanting to get revenge on anybody, like you said, and making bad
Yeah,
decisions.
and
Hopefully, it'll just chill out.
you know, if anyone else is watching this, if you are streaming this to the
No
whole
one's watching
world,
it. It's just me and you.
yeah, but if anyone's watching right now, like if anyone's like watching, like up
In the
late at
future.
night watching this, I want them to know that I will do everything in my power to change. No matter how hard it gets, I will work on it. And that's my promise. That's my promise to the world. But I do thank you for actually talking to me and getting this out in the open.
Like I
Because
said,
I
my
felt,
goal wasn't to have a conversation and cuss you out and call you names and insult you. It's really trying to understand the thought process behind things. And I just want to leave you with this. So next time when you're talking to kids, just like earlier when I said it, because it like related to your brother, consider if he had done to your children what he done to others, would you want to give him another chance? Said, oh hell no, I would pay him. Next time you're talking to people's kids, think about that. Would I want an adult to say this to my children?
I'll just say what's up to the gamer pals I have, the gamer kids that I play with. I'll say what's up to them and, talk about our day and how things have been going. And from there, we'll just goof off. Because that's usually what me and Bam Side Minded, Dodo, and Prided and I all talk about is our days and how things have been going. We talk about our lives and how things have been, since then. I'm hoping that this summer I'll get more time to talk to them and maybe get some things out there and maybe see if they would be willing to help get my paranormal business out there in the world, because
Yeah, I do paranormal stuff too.
I've been trying to get that out. Yeah, I've been trying to get into that business for a while.
Can I ask you something that's I've always intrigued me? Is the Sheratora? Can we talk about Sheratora?
Of course.
So Sheratora, again, is his wife. He claims he put a soul into a My Little Pony stuffed animal. He's going to go in details how why he's fascinated with these My Little Pony stuffies. But he has been on camera showing Sheratora, it's My Little Pony, again, stuffy. And then his kids with Sheratora, quote unquote, are 3 plastic My Little Ponies. I think they were plastic, but they're smaller My Little Ponies. And he's been on stream where he's yelling at the kids to behave themselves or he's going to spank them. I can't talk about these toys. And arguing with Sheratora about how she's in a bad mood and she's not happy that he's speaking to Linda, and they're arguing with each other. So again, very serious mental health issues. And yeah, so he's going to go in detail about Sheratora.
I'm willing to talk about her. Let me close the door first because it might be getting a little cold in my house. My staff's asleep on the couch, so I have to be quiet. Oh shit, my battery's down low.
We'll go plug it in.
So this after we're done, I don't want to go in because if I do go in with my phone, it's going to cut out and the internet's going to cut off. So
let me ask you.
Let me think, because I do have an extension cord. I have an extension cord, but I don't want to go in, grab it, and have to drag it back to my room after we're done talking. But
that's a lot.
I'm just gonna go grab it. I don't care anymore.
All right, I'll wait.
I'm gonna it really quick. Be right back.
Okay. my Dr. Pepper. Almost out of time.
Who cares anymore? All right. Almost there. Got it.
You got it plugged in?
Yeah, that sound you just heard in the background of my phone. That was me plugging in my phone. It's charging now.
Okay. Good deal. All right. Please explain to me Sharatora.
Okay. How to explain that? How to explain how a homunculus works? At least in my point of view. How can I say this? So, homunculus are made from alchemy, magic, and a bit of science, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's just say I can take a bit of my blood, a bit of alchemy, and a bit of science and mix it all together in one. And that's what created Shiratora and her mindset and everything she's been through. She's been there since the group home. She was given to me by a close friend, somebody I considered a brother, somebody I lost contact with.
Billy?
I missed that guy. Nope. It was another guy. This guy's name was Michael Gray.
Okay.
He was a big fan of TV, My Little Pony TV show. Me,
Okay. Gotcha.
I was kind of interested. And I still am uninterested. I like just collecting them so that way I have some sense of remembrance of him. That's why I do what I do. That's why I collect them. Is to have memories, remember what my life used to be, remembering him and remembering everything, all the joy he brought to my life, being my best friend and one of my roommates. He was a good person.
Well, I'm glad that you had that.
Exactly. He's my memory. That's why I collect them. It's in his memory because he and I lost contact over the years. He's kind of been a jackass about it. Whenever I tell our friend Lance to give him my number, he always refuses to take it. He always says that he'll just ignore my texts or whatever.
Did y'all have a falling out? Like, did
And it
y'all
just pisses me off,
Did y'all fight about something? Uh-oh, I think the internet's messing up again. Jupiter, you still there? Okay, you might have to drop, come right back. I think it did it again to you. Still can't hear you. Dang it, I really want to hear about Shiratora. Huh. Oh, there he is. He dropped. I hope he comes back up because I have questions. Makes a lot more sense. We know why he collected the My Little Ponies. Makes a lot more sense. Trying to watch what I say just in case. I think his phone might have died. This is what I'll do. I'll end it here. And if he messages me and says my phone died, let's talk again, I'll do another. But can I just say, for those that are going to watch this in the future, what the actual fuck? By the way, the only reason I mentioned that Linda's just a character because I don't know if he's understanding that it's just a character and Linda's not really into him like that. That there's no chance in hell there's ever going to be anything. Linda doesn't like him like that. She's not into him like that. It is a character. So that's the only reason I mentioned that. Because he's made pretty homophobic comments. And honestly, I'm kind of worried that if he's in his mind leaving, there's more to Linda. Like he actually has a chance. Yeah, there we are.
Sorry, internet cut out again.
I thought your phone had died.
Nope, just the internet.
Okay. I was trying to tell you I couldn't hear anything, but like what I was asking you is, did you and that friend fall out about something, like y'all have a fight before, like that made him not?
Yeah, we dropped out. We had a falling out. We got into this little argument over the phone, and then he hung up, and I never got to hear from him again. And he's been MIA for some time. I've been trying to get a hold of him. I know he works at the Boise Tomorrow's Hope office, but I don't know if I should go visit him or not because of all the things we've been through together. I don't want to bother him, and I don't want him to I don't want him to hear what happened to me and make him, give him my problems. I don't want to make his problems my problems.
Well, I mean, at least you still have the good memories, and it seems to bring you some peace knowing that y'all had those memories, and especially with Sheratora and the others, the other My Little Ponies, it brings you some comfort. So that's a silver lining to it. Even though y'all are not friends anymore, and you can't talk to them anymore, you still have those memories. So,
and gave Sheratora life with my own blood and alchemy.
You told Linda that you had injected her with some stuff, which we don't.
Oh yeah, I used a hair follicle of DNA and placed it inside of.
That's not what he told Linda and everybody on TikTok that he put into Sheratora. I'm pretty sure you can wrap your head around what else he could possibly inject into a stuffy. And it's gross. It's a biohazard. That should help you out a little bit. But yeah, was it talk about hair follicles? And he said verbatim, that's what he did. He does to put in them, and then he says a chant or whatever to make their soul go into these animals that then become his slaves, like he becomes an owner of. Very disturbing stuff.
Side of her body and basically created new life and created smaller bodies of new life, so to speak.
So, does Sheratora ever talk to you?
We communicate telepathically, but whenever we're off camera or off mic, her and I do chat openly about shit. But lately, she's just been in a mood, and I don't know why. She's just been in a mood. She's been feeling down and depressed, and at night, I can't even hear her thoughts anymore. It's like she's shut me out completely, and I'm really worried about her.
So, like, I'm psychic medium. I actually am a real psychic medium. I get paid to do readings. So, that's how you talk to her, kind of like how I get my messages, right?
Well, yeah, in a way, yeah. My my family and I have telepathy as well. My sisters and my brother, we all have telepathy. We can all read each other's minds.
Where did it come from that you were to, like, what made you, though, get Sherator and decide you were going to bring her to life? Is that something that you did on your own, or have you seen that somewhere else?
Well, the way I brought her to life may have been due to Michael being kind of like an idiot and not knowing how to transfer souls from one vessel to another. So I had to step in and teach him the proper way of maintaining a soul within a body.
Who's Michael?
He's the friend I told you I had a falling out with.
Oh, okay. So it came from him. Like, it started from
No,
there.
the bringing to life started with me, though. Literally started with me. That's how I was able to do it, because I had the special ability of transmuting souls into bodies.
But it came from you all by yourself. You never, like, no one else, like your brother, sister, nobody taught you that.
No,
You just learned it on your own.
I picked it up on my own. I picked it
Okay.
all up on my own. But yeah, soul transference is what it's called. It's called soul transference resonance, meaning you can resonate the soul from the body and transfer it to a new host. That's how she's been living during the days, throughout the months and whatnot. Whenever her original body dies or starts to degrade, I transfer her soul to a new one.
So possession, you're pretty much talking about possession of a soul possessing these stuffed animals.
Technically speaking, they are mod souls. They're modified souls, ones that are completely modified to think and act of their own accord.
So does Sherator ever move?
Not on her own. She has to have me move her around places.
Oh, okay.
But
what about the kids, as you call them your children? What about them? Do you talk to them?
Sometimes, but mostly are the older ones, the two older ones. The babies don't yet know how to speak yet.
Well, when you have human children in the future, are you going to, like, still have Sheratora and the others?
They'll probably become family heirlooms of sorts.
So you're not going to have them in the house and be talking to them. You're going to just imagine what that means. These stuffies that he injected with, you know what? He wants them to become family heirlooms for his children. He says he wants to teach his human kids how to also do the same thing with other stuffies and other inanimate objects. And such a romantic gesture, what he plans to do with them on the day he wants to marry Abby. Yeah. He said they're going to be gifts to Abby when he marries her. This was a first for me. That's all I could say. This was a first for me. Like, that they'll go back
I'll be giving them to my kids. I'll be giving them to my kids when they are
you're
old
going to
enough.
share that with your children too, about talking to them and soul transfers and all that?
Yes, it would be pretty much easy to teach them about it when they're old enough and ready to learn about that sort of thing. Just as long as they don't fight over or tear the bodies, that's fine.
Yeah, My Little Ponies, they don't last very long. Not the stuffed animals, of course.
Yeah, but that's because I've taken care of Sheratora and the others. I've taken care of them, because if I don't, who else is going to do so? But after a while, if me and Abby ever do get married and have kids, I would wash them and hand them down, give them. And I would even keep Sheratora's soul somewhere within my mind, my psyche, so she can still have a life of her own, but have her own freedom in my own head and body. So that way she can go and do whatever she wants.
So Abby knows about Sheratora, right? What does she say about them?
She hasn't mentioned it, but I do believe she knows and understands what I had to go through.
Okay. I don't know. I kind of worry about how your relationship's going to work when she's still terrified of you.
Her and I have smoothed things over. We're back together. Don't worry. I'll do everything I can to make sure that I treat her right and make sure she doesn't, get mistreated, because I love her with my whole being. I can't just up and leave her behind. I need a human companion, or should I say, a werepire companion. She is like me. She's the werepire like me.
Well, she told me that she never believed in that stuff. She just said it to make you happy. But she said on my channel that she doesn't believe in any of that stuff.
Oh, right. I forget. Some people
So
don't.
how's that gonna? I mean, is that gonna affect it? Are you gonna? Is that not? Don't you? If you need
No,
someone
I'm
that
all right. I'm all right with
where's
hearing
that?
that. I'm all right
Oh,
with hearing that, and I'm all right, and I understand that. And I need to start living a better life than thinking about that sort of shit. So I'm gonna start
oh.
living. I'm gonna start living my day to day, just trying to be happy, just keep my head up, keep my head held high, and making sure that people see that no matter what's going to happen, I'm still going to be me.
Well, I'll talk to the anonymous group and see, I'm going to ask them if they've threatened your family. Because, like I said, I've had many talks with them. They're not. Their goal is not to hurt innocent people or hurt loved ones. Their goal is to protect children. So, but I'm going to find out if they
Yeah,
said that
I'm
to
gonna
you.
tell them, just tell them that I'm doing what they're asking of me, because I don't want any more drama. And if they need boots on the ground, if they need information out here in Idaho, I'm their boots on the ground guy. If they need me, tell them they can reach out to me at any time, and I will be their boots on the ground if they need me. I'm always here. I'm always willing to help. Besides, I want to help their cause and help them understand that I'm doing what I can to help them and their causes. I want to be there. I want to stand by someone's side and do the right thing. I want to
Okay,
do
I
what's
will
right.
pass it along to them for sure, and I'll talk to Abby
And,
because I just talked to her, yesterday and the day before about this whole situation, and she wanted to hear my thoughts on it and wanted to know how our conversation went. So I'll reach out. I'll talk to Abby about it, and like I said, I don't think anonymous is going to back off as long as you're talking to kids. So I think that's something you should really think hard about and consider for refusing to talk to other people's kids, to just so everybody knows that that's not your goal, is to speak to children anymore. So hopefully that's something you think about. And again, even the kids that you talk to that you're gaming buddies, just consider how would you want them to talk to your children in the future. How would you want an adult to talk to your kids? And if you wouldn't want someone to say that to your children, don't say it to someone else's. Okay.
yeah, and just tell her that I will set aside some time to meet her family and actually show them that I'm worthy.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Jibber. I don't think they're ever gonna do that. They don't even want her speaking to you in any capacity on the internet and actually threaten to take her phone away if they know she has any involvement with you. So I honestly think as long as if her family knows she talks to you, that's gonna put a stop to it. So I don't know if that's
I'm
ever gonna
willing
work.
to I'm willing to set aside some time to reassess what's going on in my life, and maybe salvage that and see if I can understand that. And I understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to protect her and whatnot.
Absolutely.
And they don't think that I'm the right guy, but I want them to see otherwise. I'm trying to help them see otherwise. But do tell her if she's gonna message me at one point to do so in her own way, just not be upfront about it with her family until I can prove to her family that I'm a good person.
Well, hopefully they don't see any of those videos that are all over the internet, because they're never going to give you a chance if they see those. Even though you're changed, you're saying you're changed now, and that's the past. You regret all those things. I don't think they even know about those videos yet. So let's hope that.
Yeah,
I mean,
and please do your best to keep those out of sight. try to tell Anonymous to help me keep things, under wraps, and tell them that I will do everything in my power to understand and change my ways, and tell them that if they ever needed me to meet them face to face at one point, to just call out to me and let me be there to help them, let them understand that I am willing to put aside my own pride to help others. Because that's the way my dad taught me to be. And that's the way I'm going to be.
I think that the reason the police came and confiscated your stuff was because of the stuff they sent in about your TikTok stuff, right?
I know. And if you've noticed on my TikToks lately, I've been doing a lot better and been trying to post more funny stuff and more inspiration. So that way people can understand that I'm working heavily on myself as a character, to understand that I'm working my ass off to be happier.
Okay.
And plus, on top of that, I'm going to get a good job. One of these times after the police investigation's over, I'm going to go out, get a good job, get a steady source of income coming in. And from there, I will build my own system, build my own, personal net worth, everything, because in this world, if you're not rich or rich enough to date someone's daughter, they're probably going to turn you down either way.
Yeah, because you have to be able to take care of, if you're going to get married and have kids, you got to be able to take care of it, take care of them.
Exactly. And if I could go back in any capacity of time,
Oh, it cut out again. All right, repeat yourself. It cut out.
So if I could go back in time to stop the events that have happened in my life that were bad, I'd go back in time and I'd stop those TikTok videos from ever being made and ever talking to those people. I would go back and stop that right then and there. I would go back in time and stop it before anything bad happened. And then I would go and delete the app for a few days and let everything cool down. And then from there, I would go out, get a job, get a car, and go out, get a job, get my license, get a car, and basically go out, see Abby, talk to her parents about how I am, and show them that I am worth their daughter and I'm way worth it. And then I would put myself back on a workout schedule to help keep my body weight from fluctuating.
Mm-hmm. Would you go back and not say the things you said to, the people on Discord and the people who said they were kids?
Yeah, I would go back in time and do that all. I would do it all over again and erase what I've said and put, if you're not of age, do not contact me.
Exactly. And that's what you should do in the future too, is 18 and up only in my live streams, 18 and up only in my Discord, 18 and up only in my DMs. That's what I would, that's, hopefully you'll do that in the future.
Yeah.
That's the way
I know.
to not get in trouble. That's why a lot of streamers, you'll see them put on their 18 and up only, because that's the way they protect themselves from getting in trouble with cops. Because if kids still go in there and try to communicate, it's not on the content creator, it's on that child. The cops will look at it and be like, well, you tried to tell them that you only want adults on there. So, that's just, it's the best thing to do as an adult and as a streamer.
If ever I bring my phone back online and ever you wanted to just call and chat and just have a nice heart-to-heart chat once in a while, or just shoot the breeze or something, give me a call. I would be all ears to hear you out. And if you have any ideas of how to help me with my paranormal stuff, I would definitely take you up on it.
Yeah, because I've been doing paranormal for 23 years.
I've been at it for about 10 years.
Well, hopefully you're doing it safely, that's for sure. And by the way, I'm a hoodoo practitioner, so if I find out you did anything to Abby or you hurt Abby anymore, I'm going to come at you. Just saying. I'm going to teach you a lesson.
Hey, I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to go that far with her because I don't want to hurt anyone, and I don't want anyone to hurt her. Anyone tries to hurt her, I would step in the way of that motherfucker and knock him out. They'd lose
Well,
their
that's
teeth.
why I broke y'all up and kept y'all apart, because I didn't want her hurt by anybody. So that's why I wasn't, because I was trying to be vengeful against you. It was me not wanting her to be hurt.
Well, you could have just contacted me and said, hey, you should try to salvage things with Abby and maybe you save your relationship, and you could have contacted me beforehand, would have made things easier
Well,
on
you
my
got
mind.
think about it, Jupiter. Think about all the things that were being shown online, and all the messages with Linda and Sophie and all these other girls that have come forward. There was, in my opinion, there was nothing to discuss after seeing all that out there, and especially when Abby said that you physically hurt her before. So I was like, there
I
ain't
never
nothing.
physically laid hands on her. That was a complete lie. I never physically laid hands on her. I never did.
Well, she said you did when she
I
came out to
didn't.
visit you that one time.
I didn't. Oh, hell no.
Do you remember hurting her?
No, I didn't hurt her. Have you ever heard of the multiverse before?
Yes.
There are multiple versions of me. She might have encountered one of the other versions of me back then. Because I don't remember ever laying hands on her. She
Yeah,
might
she
have.
said.
And
So in that instance, if it was another version of you, you would still have to. She would still say that you hurt her, because she only sees the one person. She doesn't know if it's another version of you. So
I will explain that next time. When I talk to her again, I will explain that to her and say, listen.
So right there, I'm just trying to reason, not like reason with him, but just go with what he's saying, to try to get him to talk more about it. But I at least got him to confess that that did happen. But transference, of course, he wants to put the blame on this alternate version of himself, which I do believe in different dimensions and parallel universes and all that jazz. But that's not how it works. That's what he's saying. That's not how it works. It's nowhere close. They can't have an alternate version you on a different parallel because of this layer and assault someone and then goes away. There was no point in trying to explain it to him. There was no point in arguing with it. That wasn't the goal. My goal was to fight for Abby's sake and try to explain to him why it's wrong what he's doing. So don't think just because I'm trying to agree somewhat that I actually agree. It's, again, I have to use baby gloves, kid gloves, in this situation, unfortunately.
Listen, back then you must have encountered my other counterpart from the multiverse and must have done something that I must have done something to make him so mad that he decided to assault you and make it look like I did it. When I would never hurt anyone because I'm just a big old teddy bear deep down.
That's another thing that bothers me is I would never hurt anyone. He's not grasping that him speaking to people who are underage is hurting. You that's a victim. They are a survivor of you after that. So to say it's not hurting, yes it is. That is something, if there are actual kids he's speaking to, which we know there are, that's going to stay with them, especially when they understand the depth of what you're doing, and how you're grooming them and being inappropriate with them as an adult. So those things don't go away. Those are emotional scars. And Abby's got emotional and physical, and it's still continuing on. What if that other version of you does it again in the future, though?
I will find that part, and I'd put a bullet in his brain. and I'd call it good. Because technically, wiping out one of the multiverse's Jupiters wouldn't even harm me. Because they are me.
Mm-hmm. So do you have multiple, like that movie Split, are there multiple versions of you in your one body? Is that what you're saying?
There's multiple versions of me in the multiverse.
Gotcha. Okay.
There's
I get
versions. There are multiple versions of me, males and female versions. Like in Rick and Morty, how they are able to traverse through the multiverse. That's kind of how
I've
my
actually never
multiverse
watched
is.
Rick and Morty, so I don't know what they do on that show, but I have heard about the multiverse situation.
Like in Marvel movies, how they talk about multiversals having different counterparts for certain members of certain groups. Yeah,
Right.
the multiverse is what connects the entire reality, because our realities are stacked on top of each other.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well,
we are
maybe
all part of one reality.
well, let's hope that
So
version never hurts Abby again or anybody else.
if he even shows his face around me, I'll be like, okay, man, come here. Punch. Who's that for? You know that was for. Now get out of here before I kick your ass back through that portal.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll talk to Abby. It was nice having. If I see any videos or anything else, like if you talk to children and inappropriate again, I'm not gonna tell Abby to talk to you anymore and fix
You
it.
know
Right?
me, I'm going to do what I can.
Be on your best behavior.
If you help me fix this, if you help me fix this, and help me and Abby fix this between us, fix things between her and I, then I'm willing to go the distance.
I'll see what I could do.
Because, and if her parents ever do get a hold of you and say that they don't want her dating me, just say that she is what keeps me from going insane. She is the only thing that's been keeping me sane. She's the only person who has tamed my wild side and has basically had her hand on my heart the whole entire time.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, it's going to be up to her parents and what they wanted, how they view it, and what they're comfortable with her doing. Because, like I said, they're still her guardians. They still have they still have custody of her, and they get to make decisions for her. So at the end of the day, it'll be up to them. But we'll see where it goes from here. Maybe I could talk to them, and we'll see what they want to do next. Okay. I think your internet messed up again. Can't hear you, Jupiter. So I'm going to just go ahead and end the stream, and then there you are. I didn't hear anything you said. You had cut out for the last few minutes. You still there? Uh-oh. What the fuck? Abby, when you watch the future, do not get back with you. You're not. No. No, no, no. No. It's up to your parents, honestly, but hell no. He's so dangerous. He's still not understanding how wrong he is targeting children. What the fuck? I'm in the stream. I got shit to do. I gotta get my child up for school. So that was the whole interview. Jupiter had said he would like to do a follow-up with me. I haven't reached out for that. Maybe after he watches it and he gets mad at me again, he could confront me about it. But yeah, I think I reached my goal. I got some admissions from some crimes he's done. It was just a very tough topic. Again, I have to keep in mind that this person is on the spectrum, and I would not want anybody to take advantage of that person, just be hateful and bully and whatnot, and just drive someone to the point of harming themselves. And he's made threats in the past to harm himself, so I don't want to push anybody to that point. But as you could tell by my immediate reaction as soon as I knew he wasn't listening, was hell no. Abby's not like, when he saw it, I was like, oh yeah, I'll talk to Abby and I'll talk to her. I'll see what I could do. Clearly, that's not where my thought process actually was, because as soon as you heard there, the raw, as it happened in time, I'm like, hell no, do not get back with him. He's so dangerous. So, I'd like to know your thoughts in the comment section. Would you have changed anything? What are your thoughts about the things we discussed? If I made mistakes, your opinions on these things. Do you think PDFs can recover? Do you think he should be living across the school? Do you think he should be on social media, which on TikTok, there's a very strict rule. If you have been committed of crimes of that nature, you are not allowed to have a platform, but he continues to have one. Anonymous is still at his neck, by the way. They are still, which I can't wait to hear what the group has to say after hearing this, because they're subs to my channel now. But I'll be boots on the ground for you. Like, he wants to help them take out other predators when he's still doing the same. Like, Anonymous would not have anything to do with him. And if you watch my interview the night I had Abby up and them up, they made it very clear how they felt about that situation. So that's never going to happen, of course. But Jupiter's made many death threats on TikTok towards Anonymous. He's like the Anonymous group, but it's really just one guy that goes by Anonymous. I mean, there were others that also had these accounts that all work together, but he was mainly talking about the main guy, who again came on the channel, and he didn't hold back. There was 3 or 4 guys that came up. None of them held back about it, and they were very serious, and they took it very serious. And I'm grateful that those guys got involved. And anyway, so yeah, just put in the comments how you feel about it, what your thoughts about it. I'm going to tag some of the creators that also cover this Jupiter content, including my interview, including LindaBinda, the history of Jupiter, how he got started, the saga, the drama, where he's at now, the court case, or not the court case, the police investigation, all that. So I'll be tagging those in the description of this video. But I hope you enjoyed it. Again, this wouldn't have come to light if he had not broken his promises, which tends to happen. And I mean, it was practically inevitable, but I appreciate anybody that watched. Thank you for being here. Hit the thumbs up, leave a comment if you can. Support the channel if you enjoyed the content and would like to support the channel so I continue to do content. There's my Cash App, and there's more ways to contribute in the description, the ticker at the bottom of the screen, the banner. But I appreciate it so much, and I will see y'all next time. Bye, y'all.
If I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, baby, you'll get sick of being the monster out of my head, under my bed, thinking something out of my nightmares, standing right there. But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, then will you get bored again?
So if I play dead, will you regret everything that you did, that you said? I don't think you understand what you're doing, and my heart's black and blue from the bruising. I feel like when I'm with you I'm losing. I feel like you think that this amusing, sitting there gaslighting and confusing. Was it me? Is it me? Am I deluded? I'm the one who's always sorry.